You are listening to episode 3 of Quarantakes. On this episode, we're going to be talking about how to digest information related to COVID-19. And joining us is the multi-talented social media wizard and founder.
Doing right now because she's just on her. She's just working. She's one of those just working. So thanks for pulling up. Yeah. Wait, I can't hear you. I can't hear you.
No problem.
Okay. Cool. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay, because I was like, did the Zoom is Zoom staking us? Anyways, so
I have 2 locations for Start near you. The first one is Kiewit Aboriginal Head Start at 2784 Keel Street, North York. The second one.
Hey Google, stop.
Yo, Google's so nothing.
Google's snitching on you, man.
Yo, Google's up in everyone's business, eh? Google
just said your location. I am dead.
Bro.
You know, Google.
No.
Enough. Like, anyways, we were kind of getting into like some of the information that comes out about COVID, and how to kind of deal with it. And Nanny was getting into a lot of things about like the way governments and organizations have been dealing with the outbreak and things like that, and how and stuff like that. So I kind of wanted to get to kind of like maybe let Nanny reiterate some things that he was saying, and then I want to talk about how we kind of cope with all of the information we're getting as we're just in our homes and aren't governments, right? And so, yes, all right, Nanny, can you just like give me a quick I don't know, like a recap of what you were saying, so we could get Lesley up to speed, and then we'll go into how we cope with things.
Well, yeah. So the conversation started because Aaron kind of showed on his social media, there was a picture of like hands clapping, and then next to the person was a nurse, and that nurse had like scissors and like knives in the back of them. And he was kind of just questioning like, what does this mean, and why is it like so many nurses kind of like feel kind of like that picture resonates a lot with them, especially during this pandemic, right? And I was just explaining that there could be 2 things: is that either the government's failed us, right, in terms of the fact that we have to ask the community to donate personal protection, which is like, you know, not cool, and we're working in unsafe practices, while everyone's kind of like the whole thoughts and prayer culture, which you know, it's kind of like it's not doing as much because we're risking our lives here without the proper protection, right? And then I think the other one is just like the possibility of the fact that this pandemic is happening, and finally frontline nurses or frontline staff are being recognized and appreciated. But and throughout all of the times when there was no pandemic, you get a lot of people, EMS, doctors, nurses, any healthcare worker, being physically and verbally abused by patients and their family members while taking care of them, right? So it's kind of like those were kind of like the 2 things that I kind of came up with. And then we kind of just went on a tangent about talking about how the government kind of failed in terms of like actually managing this pandemic. Yeah.
So I'm thinking, look, I did horrible at math, right, when I was a kid. So I knew I was never getting into health. Like, I knew that it just wouldn't happen. So when people talk about health and things like that, it's like, it's gibberish. I don't know what's happening half the time.
Right.
I just get scared. I just hear a pandemic and sick, and I'm like, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking, and I'm not sure if people feel similar, but like, how are we coping with this? Like, what are we doing to like maybe monitor the amount of information that we take in, and how are we digesting some of the information that we see on TV, and even some of the things that Hernani just told us? Like, what are y'all doing to kind of do that?
Does anyone want to take the field on that?
Lesley, I can't hear you. It's weird.
Why can't you hear me?
I don't know. Okay, there you are. I think speak closer to the mic. I think that's what's happening. I don't know. It's weird.
Okay, I'll try and talk like a lot louder. I guess with the whole nurse thing, I do feel like the government failed them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the fact that we do have to like supply nurses, schools are taking all of their supplies to give to hospitals is really pathetic on the government's part. Like, there should have been enough.
Right.
There should have been more done. I was actually in school for nursing way back. So
Awesome. Hey, let's go.
Big things.
I think about things like that, and I'm like, yo, like, a lot of these people are risking their lives every day going out there. They're not being able to go home and spend time with their families, and like it's just so fucked up. But
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. Like my mom's a nurse, so I actually came back up to Pickering to like show my mom and my uncle, and my mom's works in a nursing home, and we're usually watching the news related to like how they did with the nursing home.
Yeah. And
like, if you know me, you know I can be a little extra. I'm ready to call her boss and be like, yo, walk on. You know what I mean? Like, this is a person that's very high risk. She's over 65. What are you doing to protect her? Why is she going to work still? What are you doing? You know what I mean? Like, and because the information I'm seeing is making me want to do that. And so it's kind of like, and y'all know I will. I told my mom, look.
That's crazy. That's pretty crazy.
It's crazy, right? And it's like, and then she'll come home and then tell me wild things about other nursing homes, and just and then not much updates from her DOC or from her like whoever, from her director of whatever. Like, because I would think you'd provide your staff daily updates on how to engage going forward, but it's like they give people a mask and say to keep it moving.
Yo.
And it's
for us.
Wait, Lesley. Wait, no, I can't hear you again.
It's a fluid situation, right? So like everything is changing every single day. There's always something new. And then there was a nurse that actually walked out on her job because she has a little girl at home. She has nobody to take care of her, and she also has previous like health issues. And she just walked out. I think she's in the States though, but I saw a video posted on Facebook the other day because like whoever was in charge of her put her on the COVID floor.
Right.
Regardless of everything else.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so,
yeah, no, it's crazy because like I remember one day when this whole thing was starting, because I work in one of the COVID assessment centers. Like I work in Emerge, right? And every like 20 to like 3 hours, our policies kept changing. It kept changing like crazy in just one day. I think it was changed like at least 5 or 6 times. Like it to me, that's like, you guys are literally thinking on the fly right now. You know what I mean?
Shit.
It went from like, all right, only the Emerge staff is going to get the N95s and blah, blah, blase, and ICU, right? To eventually like, we're locking up all the N95s and we're going to have 2 masks on. You know what I mean? I've been like, it's crazy, like how many times the organization has to change their mindset on how to do this. And I think, again, that goes to show how the government failed us, because like the countries that haven't been showing any or much cases are like, you're looking at like Vietnam, like, like all these like kind of like, even though they're like not well developed countries like ours, their government literally was like, nope, we're closing all our borders. We're shutting everything down. This is what needs to be done. Right then and there. You just have this one unified voice that said this is how to do it. But for some reason, our government was like, we're still going to maintain like autonomy with all of these different like organizations. It doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? It's a pandemic. That means it's global, right? So yeah, that's good.
Right? If you think about it, we value freedom way too much. And I talk about this almost every day, is that like North American society values. So to have the government come in and be like, no, you like, and lock everything down, I feel like it would cause panic more than the virus, right? It would cause like riots and looting and all that kind of stuff. So I get why they're not doing it, but at the same time, I'm like, no, please do this, because people are complete idiots.
Yeah.
Out there and doing stuff. Like there's a frigging, what's it called? Anyways, there's a bunch of people in Detroit or in Michigan just now that got together to protest outside of their capital or something like that. And I'm like, you guys are complete like
protest.
Oh, it also happened in Vancouver too. In like downtown Vancouver, there was a protest going on saying that this is not a real outbreak, and I was like,
see, this is the problem though. It's like it's all these like anti-vacciners and people like that.
No, look. I
was like,
oh my gosh, look, I saw something wild on the internet. Like there's like this one person that's like running this whole campaign in like BC. I gotta find it. I gotta really find it. And
yeah,
falsifying. There are numbers. There's so much evidence that this is a real thing. So how
Okay.
is it not like?
But see, that's the bad part about people staying indoors and having all of this misinformation, because it's crazy how many videos my friends have shown of like these people who are like, oh, this is not a true outbreak. Doctors are falsifying death certificates and all this stuff, right? And like I had to drop the mic on them and answer in the most neutral way, because when people come in with these ideas, they're bent on it, right?
Right.
So they're focused on it. They're not going to listen to anything if you were to argue their argument, right? I had to come in a neutral tone and just state facts. That's it. To the point where like, oh shoot, okay, I'm actually really dumb for believing these things. You know what I mean?
How?
And that's
What? Wait, go. Sorry, go.
No, I was just gonna say, and like that's the thing with misinformation is like people, it boils down to ego, right? And people don't want to be wrong. People never want to be wrong. Right?
Exactly. It's all ego, right?
And that's it. Right? If we can all just like work through that and get past our egos and realize that like this is real life and people are dying on a daily basis.
That is poetic. Like it boils down to it is. I couldn't say that. I wouldn't submit to myself. That makes.
And like misinformation, exactly.
Yeah.
How to combat that is just stating facts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually show a quick video of the woman that's been like on this campaign. Let me just try to see if I can show it on this slide.
I can't believe there's
an actual campaign going on.
I'm not sure if we'll be able to hear it.
Oh no!
Let's see if we'll be able to hear it. Let's see if we.
Wow. How stereotypical can you be? Can you hear the video?
You know what? I think I have to unplug my thing. Wait.
Aaron needs a big bottle of wine to rethink this decision.
I need to drink.
Bottle of wine or Jamie? Like, oh my gosh.
I can't hear anything.
More marches.
Can you hear anything?
There you go.
Fine, so people can get out and take back their economic rights that have really been hijacked because of what's going on with public health in British Columbia. So CTV and Global have both chosen to run hit pieces on our story. They didn't interview us. They didn't come. They didn't do proper investigative reporting. They used somebody else's footage, didn't pay him, and are basically running a biased story to influence public. So I'm about to call the CTV producer who has contacted us to say, hey, we'll come into the studio and we'll do a live interview. British Columbians deserve to hear both sides of the story, and we don't often get that on the news. So if you want to hear the truth, people like me who are fed up with the lockdowns and want them to stop, push for CTV and Global to do live interviews with us. Thanks.
Yo, someone come get their answer, because really,
I'm looking at the comments. It's like, Karen needs a bottle of wine. I was like, facts. I saw that. I was like, yep, she does.
Hello?
This is like a slap to my face, bro.
It makes me wonder what the world would be like if the LCBO was closed.
Oh, that's an actual thing, though. Like, why do you think it's still open?
Al Capone will come to rise again.
No, it's wild. Like we need to go. Like, like I watched that today. I was like,
I just gotta laugh.
What's happening? I saw this other video of people in the States literally protesting right now, like in the streets, in groups, protesting against the lockdown during a pandemic. Like what? Like I don't even. Can someone talk? Because I don't know what to do about that. That looks crazy to me.
And the picture I saw too of the one in the States, they all have like guns strapped around them, of course.
Like complete
like they said they're ready, martyrs. Oh my gosh.
This virus is coming to take everything you got. You gotta protect what you got.
Right. And like the other piece of it is like the whole fear thing. I think I remember like we were kind of talking